I'm Emma, and thanks again for watching another video by 3 Scrappy Sisters. This scrapbook layout that I've made is really special to me. It's my dog Lita, and I had to put her down a couple weeks ago. I miss her so much every single day. We spent 12 years together, and she's been my best friend for so long. I went through my knickknacks and picked out things that I thought I could use, that I liked, that gave me this soft, dreamy kind of feel. It's the feel I wanted for the layout. So I don't always use everything that I pick out, but it saves me time from rummaging through it all when I kind of have things pulled out and have a bit of a plan. I couldn't find paper that I liked or paper that I wanted to use. I'm trying to encourage myself to use color, but I keep going back to white. I find that it's a great base for me to start on, and it's easier for me to add color to a white as opposed to starting off with a colored paper. But we'll see. Hopefully I can brave enough to use some colored paper at some point. So because I couldn't find paper that I liked, I ended up making my own. I used 2 set stamps that I had. I wanted some clouds, and it says thinking of you. So I clumped that together on my acrylic stamping block. And I'm working in small sections so that I don't make a mess or smudge my stamps. And I'm using embossing powder and ink to make this paper. I'm only doing the top part of the paper and the left-hand side of the paper, because the rest of the paper is going to be covered up with my photos. One of the reasons I like taking out my accents and my decorations for my layouts is so that I remember to use them, because there has been a few times where I don't have them all out, and then I see them and said, oh, this would have been perfect for this layout, or oh, I forgot to use that one. This way I remember. I almost forgot to stamp my Life is Good When Shared stamp, but it's a good thing I had it out because I remembered to do it. I wanted that on the bottom part of the page by itself. My sisters gave me this idea to use tulle and fabric on my layout, and I absolutely love it. I cut some tulle and I taped it all the way around my photos. Just tape. I did take a video of it. I don't know what happened to it. It did take a little bit of time. As you can see, the tulle is a little long and it hangs over my pictures, but I will trim that later. I also wanted more texture and more things in the background. And I was thinking to myself, how can I darken the doily? The doily is much too white. It's too much of a contrast. I need something a little more dreamy, more mellow. So I went looking through my craft things, couldn't find anything, and I ended up finding in the bathroom cheap old bronzer that I haven't used in a very long time. So it's now in my craft room, and that is what I'm using to tint this doily. I thought coffee. I thought that might be too brown. I wanted something with a little more sparkle. So the bronzer worked perfect. So there you see, the doily stands out a lot more on the sheet of paper, and I'm just checking the placement of the doily and my photos on top of it, and fixing the tulle that's coming out a little bit, just more tape. So I'm pretty sure this is where I want my photos to be, on the right hand side, stacked up on top of each other. But the paper itself that I've made is much too white, so I taped the powder that I was just using, the bronzer, and go around the edges of my paper, darken them up a bit. And I like the way this is looking as I'm doing it, so I start adding some more. I really like how it brings up some of the ink that I just embossed because it clings on there. So I just kind of randomly go over it from spots, give it a little bit more color, make it a little more dreamy, more soft. White can be too stark. need to trim up my tool because it's much too long. It overlaps on top of the photos. So I'm just giving it a trim with my crimping shears. The tool, I just kind of layered it on, no particular way. Just fold it, tape it on, fold it, tape it on. And I did have a video of it, but I'm not sure where that went off to. Either way, it's pretty quick. I love using tulle. It gives it so much dimension. I like the see-throughness of the tulle and how light it makes photos look. And I use fabric all the time in my layouts. So I have these little wood chips. That one says hashtag so cute. And I took this yellow marker that I have. It's kind of like an inky jelly marker, and it's sparkly yellow. And I'm just tracing over the words so that they pop out a little more. I'm going to use it to color all my little stars yellow and give it a little shiny gold to it. I'm going to do all 6 stars. Now I'm ready to put my layout together. I have all my little accents around there with me, and I need to put some tape on my doily and adhere that. So there's some double-sided tape there. I grabbed the glue, thinking I can put little dots of glue all over my doily, but as I was doing that, I realized there really was no space for it, and my photos are going to go on top of the doily anyway, so gluing the whole thing down doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, or it's just not necessary. So I just made sure there was enough adhesive in the center of the doily, and I'm going to start placing my photos and everything else on top, and the doily will stay in place. So here I'm just doing some brainstorming, trying to figure out where things go. I have a general idea as to where I want my words and where I want my accents and the eye to be drawn to, just because of the way I made the paper and kind of how I placed it. I always start off with my photos on a blank paper and then think about what I want the title to be and start creating from that kind of base. So the first thing I'm going to glue down, other than my doily, is my letters. They are the next biggest thing aside from my photos. My photos I haven't laid down yet because I know I still want to layer things under there, so I can't glue those things down yet. But my Miss shoe I can for sure. I'm just taking the ruler and using the guidelines on my mat to line it up so that when I glue my letters down, they're all in a straight line. This is a little tag that it's from Heidi Swap. I just picked it up at the craft store, and it's a bunch of little tags. So I pulled the one out because that one goes the best with my layout. I put some foam tape here, and then I'm taking it back off because I realized I need it too long. I don't need it to be that long because I still need to stick things underneath the photo, but I do want it to be lifted up a bit. It'll make it a little easier. The tool will sit a little nicer since it's a little bumpy, and it'll just pop the photo up. So I just use a little piece of foam tape there, and I'm adhering my photos in place. My tag is still there, but it's not glued down. It's just kind of hanging out. These are some flowers as well from the craft thrift store. They're just paper flowers. So I have a white one and a little tanny brown one that I'm going to use, but I don't want those gems on there, so I'm going to take them off. But I do want to use my little wooden chips, so I'm kind of just playing around with location and trying to figure out where I want them to live in my layout. Sometimes it takes me a little while to make up my mind as to how I'm going to place it. And there you see that, yes, I want to put my little wood thing on top of one of my flowers, but to glue better without the gem on it. I'm just carefully ripping it off, put some glue, layering them on top of each other. It's going to go just like that. I also end up using another white flower underneath the picture on the top, right by the tag, to give it a little more dimension. I'm figuring out where to place my stars. I do like putting things under the tool as well. Again, just more layers and textures onto the photo, more things for your eye to look at, interesting little bits. I also end up using a little metal star split pin. I don't use those stickers there, but the split pin I stick underneath the tool in the corner through my paper in the photo. Right there, there's the pin. So it goes pretty much in that spot. So this is how my layout ends up looking out. I just need to glue everything down together and voila, it's all done. The little tag that says Lita on the top, it's just a fabric little tag that I almost forgot to place on there. But once I was gluing everything down, seeing it amongst my decorations, I remember that's what I wanted to do. I used a gold gel pen to write Lita's name on it, and then I just glued it right on. Actually, it was sticky, so it glued itself on. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe to our page. Until next time.